Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we have yet another round of localizer drama, because why would these people spend their time doing their job properly when they could spend that time acting like clowns on Twitter? We've gotten to the point where localizers have huffed so much self-victimization that they're saying it's just a matter of time before something bad happens. You're right. These people do want something to happen, and that's for localizers to make proper translations. These people aren't terrorists or anything. They want to see you do your job properly. They're fans of the medium that you continue to disrespect. And it wouldn't be localizer drama without our good old pal Katrina, whose profile picture serves as a Batman symbol, alerting you that you're about to see a horrible take. Now, it's been a rough week or two for Katrina, who, despite having her account on private, has managed to stir the pot once again with a tweet she made a few days ago. Now, why did she go private? Well, it probably had to do with the recent backlash we covered in this previous video, where she once again made laughably bad localizations, this time in the Inukai-san's dog anime. She then received backlash and then resorted to mocking the series and its fans, who she's supposed to be translating and promoting the product for, behavior that we've come to expect out of her. But before we get to her latest stinker, I have to point this out. I'm like the only person on Twitter she doesn't have blocked. It fascinates me because her tactic is to block literally every single person who criticizes her, but I still fly under the radar. Like, I don't know, guys, does she have a crush on me or something? Like, after all the wars and debates, the lines of communication have remained open? Amazing. But anyways, protected mode on her Twitter account wasn't enough to prevent screenshots of her latest tweet to circulate beyond her target audience. Throwing shade at a member of the industry, she made this quote retweet stating, "A mangaka asking for help to revise machine translations to their comic. Would anyone like to politely tell him why this is an insult to his own art and story?" Yeah, imagine you, the localizer, telling the original creator that you know better than him, and then you tell him the right approach as to how their manga should be translated. Yeah, I think some of these localizers are starting to get nervous because they're becoming less and less desirable to hire. Localizers are worried about machine translations because they're not only faster than them, they also provide more reliable translations. With machine translations, there's no political agenda, no self-inserts, no BS. Yes, machine translations can produce errors, but that's why you have translators work with the results to iron out the mistakes. The role becomes one of a supporting role, where the localizer and translator is supporting the machine translations, stepping in when necessary, as opposed to someone like Katrina and other localizers who want to swoop in, take over an entire project, and alter the content as they see fit. And not to be a stickler for detail, but he's not even saying that he only wants machine translations and everyone else can piss off. He's asking for the help of translators to work with the tech, and somehow Katrina took that personally. Well, if your chances of working with someone like this was already grim, this quote retweet has been shared with the mangaka to ensure you don't touch this product, and hopefully no further ones as well. But now I want to shift gears because there was another big set of localizer drama that took place this week, this time involving Fire Emblem. So now we're going to look at this Bounding Into Comics article. It does a good job aggregating all of the Fire Emblem drama. So a lot of it has to do with screenshots shared on Twitter showing that the English localization of the game has attempted to remove gendered language and censored problematic romance scenes. So as you can tell, Twitter was very divided about this. People upset that the localization changed the meaning of different scenes, and of course, the usual suspects defending the localization, saying it was getting rid of bad stuff, icky, gross stuff. In this case, it involves the character Anna. There are different scenes in Fire Emblem where she is, you could probably say, flirting with the player, the main character. I'm sorry, I'm not a Fire Emblem person. I'm assuming that's how it works. So she's saying things to the player, to the audience essentially, and leaving it open like she has a crush on him. And of course, Anna is underage, and that's the whole center of this problem. So I think those screenshots you could pause and read those for yourself, but it's easier to see these down here. So in the Japanese localization, or the Japanese original dialogue, another scene, there is a implication at the end that says Anna is a child and she's not ready for these certain things. And of course, that's hinting at a romance with the player. And in the localization, of course, they remove any mention of child and any mention of anything that would imply more than just a friendship. Now, it happens once, but it happens over and over again. They basically had to scrub this whole character because Anna is obviously implying she has a crush on the player, and it's a constant theme. So they had to change a lot of scenes like this one as well, where in the Japanese original version, they're talking about even if it's too soon for us to be lovers, we can still be partners, don't you think? In this case, it's not even saying that they want to be together. It's just like the possibility of them being together, and people are like scared of that. Like, is your ability to be around what you think is a child so fragile that if there's like a hint that there might be like a potential romance in the future between them, it gets you like scared? That's a little sus on you. Like, I don't know why you can't handle this character implying she might have a crush on the player. But nonetheless, they obviously scrub all of that away in the English version, unsurprisingly. And before we go any further, I want to make it clear. So the big debate on Twitter about all this has to do with people upset on one side that the localization is changing scenes entirely. But on the other side, you have people saying, oh, you're just mad because they took away these gross, icky things out of the translation, and you're just a bunch of weirdos, and you want to date 10-year-olds or whatever. And it's like, it's not about that. It's a little further and more nuanced than that. They're changing a product in their localization. Number one, for no reason. None of this is deep in the first place, okay? It's just silly dialogue implying this character might have a crush on the player. That's all. And this is how localization became such a problem, because it starts with changing small things like this. You change small things and you just keep upping the ante until they're changing entire scenes and having characters being rewritten as trans when they're not actually trans, and other things we've covered on this channel that are really major changes. It starts with things like this. And honestly, I completely understand why people are upset about small changes like this. It's not intended by the original creators, and that should be respected, even if the localizers have a personal gripe with this sort of thing. But down here, again, there is the implication Anna saying, with you, I might just be the world's best traveling merchant. If we meet my family someday, let me introduce you as my significant other, okay? I think this is just like a little joke, and of course, gone. Yeah, no way they were leaving that one in the localization. But so there was one more thing I wanted to get into in this article, and it was a mention of this appearance screen when you're selecting your character. You have to now select a form, which this caused a whole bunch of controversy on Twitter because you're having now this whole gender debate on this thing. But I feel like it created an issue. I don't really necessarily have the biggest problem with like a select your form thing. I think it's just kind of weird, if anything. But like, if it makes people happy, it makes people happy, whatever. But also, when you introduce this thing, it creates a debate that was never happening in the first place. You know what I mean? Nobody was like arguing or upset about a male and female option choice in the Fire Emblem game, especially in the Japanese side of the game. But then they insert this whole debate by making this choice. Now you have people upset on both sides arguing about these things and creating a whole bunch of drama over literally your player selection screen. Like, it's just forced and unnecessary drama. And there's some more examples of also like removing references to outer beauty, and like that calling someone attractive or saying that they have an outer beauty is like making people uncomfortable, so they remove that and talk about like how it feels on the inside or their personality. And it's just like all these very small and just unnecessary changes that got people upset and creates a whole dialogue and mess on Twitter when it didn't need to happen. Just If they had localized the thing, no one would have cared. Yeah, maybe some people would have gotten upset about the Anna stuff, but it would not have been this giant debate because people were going to be upset one way or another. But anyways, that's the latest selection of localizer drama. They just keep ruining everything they touch, and really, I worry for them. Like they said earlier, people, these angry, crazy. They're also labeling a lot of anime fans as like right-wing, some of these localizers. Of course, like anyone who disagrees with them must be some crazy alt-right domestic terrorist who's about to like do something crazy. No, people just want proper translations, and that's it. And people are getting, localizers are getting so pressed over people just wanting them to do their jobs. But that's all for this video, and please let me know all your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.